Hello and welcome to Mouse in the Mitten Trivia Pod, a podcast where you can test your Disney trivia knowledge over a variety of topics. My name's Court and I will be your host. Our game will consist of 5 rounds of 6 questions, covering everything from your basic Disney knowledge to some unknown facts. Each question is worth 1 point unless otherwise noted. Make sure you follow us here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and let me know what your score is. And hey, if you are planning on a Disney vacation soon, you need a little bit of help planning, trying to figure things out, do not hesitate to let me know at mouseinthemitten@gmail.com. Would love to make sure that your trip is as awesome as it possibly can. But hey, we're here for trivia. Let's get into some Disney trivia, and let's start out with the movie that's coming out this weekend in Disney, and that is The Haunted Mansion. Now, we are not going to ask trivia questions about The Haunted Mansion. As much as I would love to ask about Danny DeVito or Owen Wilson, we're not going to do that right now. We're going to talk about the ride that inspired the movie. So all these questions are going to do with the movie or with the ride that inspired the movie. That's not the first time, but I'm going to talk about all the little nuances that come with the Haunted Mansion. So let's get started with question number 1. What type of attraction is the Haunted Mansion? Question number 2. In which Disney theme parks can you find the Haunted Mansion ride? Question number 3. What is the storyline of the Haunted Mansion ride? Question number 4. Which classic Disney song is prominently featured in the Haunted Mansion ride? Question number 5. What unique technology is used to create the illusion of the hitchhiking ghosts at the end of the ride? And last but not least, question number 6. What year did the original Haunted Mansion open in Disneyland to the public? All right, I'm going to give you a few seconds of music, try to come up with those answers, and then I will return. Let's get you some answers here to the Haunted Mansion again. We're talking about the ride in celebration of the movie coming out tomorrow. So let's start with question number 1. What type of attraction is the Haunted Mansion? Well, it's as classified as a dark ride where it takes guests through a spooky, eerie, haunted house experience. So if you had said something along those lines, you get the point. Question number 2, in what Disney theme parks can you find the Haunted Mansion ride? Well, as of right now, you can find them in 4 different parks. You can find it in Disneyland out in California, Walt Disney World down in Florida, Disneyland Paris, and Tokyo Disneyland. Now, we'll talk about this here in a little bit, but not all of them are themed in the exact same way. So let's move on to question number 3. What is the storyline of the Haunted Mansion? Well, the Haunted Mansion story ride is that it follows the 999 happy haunts that inherit the mansion, with us guests taking a doom buggy through the eerie house. Now, that is, for the most part, what it is. Now, there are some different nuances throughout the different parks. I believe it is Paris that has a different one. And I think Tokyo might have a different one as well, just because their perception on haunted mansions, that sort of stuff, is a little bit different than what we perceive here in the US. So they themed them to be able to kind of mimic those thoughts as well. Question number 4, which classic Disney song is prominently featured in the Haunted Mansion ride? Well, that is, of course, Grimming Ghosts. That is the one where, as you're going through the graveyard and everything, the Grimming Ghosts come out to socialize. That is all part of that. It's a classic song, has been played millions of times, and every single time you feel compelled to sing it when you go through it. At least I do. Question number 5, what unique technology is used to create the illusion of the hitchhiking ghosts at the end of the ride? Well, that is Pepper's Ghosts. It's a unique technique that has been around since the 19th century. It's been around for a long time. It's also in where all the heads, when it looks like they're all looking at you, that's kind of the same technique. Same thing with the ballroom scene where they're all dancing. That's all the same technique where it's being reflected onto what you are looking at. Last but not least, question number 6. In what year did the original Haunted Mansion in Disneyland open to the public? That was August 9th of 1969. Now, that obviously, as we talked about a few weeks ago, a little bit later than when the park initially opened, that it just kind of sat vacant for a long time. Eventually, they kind of came up with the idea, and it was a really good one, and obviously a very classic one that's inspired not just one but now 2 movies plus a Muppet special. It's a really fun thing. I'm going to Disney World here this fall at some point. I'm hoping, they talked about having the Hatbot Ghost in Disney World. I'm hoping that when we go down there the next time that it's ready. It should be around Not So Scary, so I'm hoping be really cool if it was down there. All right, let's move on to round number 2, and this round is called Fast Facts. This round is filled with some questions that are simple and have simple answers. Today's category is Disney animals. For this round, I'm going to give you a character in the Disney universe. You just have to tell me what kind of animal they are. So for example, if I were to say Mickey, you would say mouse. Mickey is a mouse. At least in the Disney universe, he is. So let's get started with question number 1. Daisy. Question number 2. Pluto. Question number 3. Pete. Question number 4. Figaro. Question number 5. Clarabelle. And question number 6 is Big Al. Hopefully you had a little bit of fun with this one. Hopefully you're able to crush all of these. I have a feeling that a lot of you were, which is it's a cool thing. There's a lot of Disney characters out there, so hopefully you were able to nail this one down. So question number 1, Daisy. Obviously Daisy is a duck. We're talking about Daisy Duck, Donald's girlfriend, longtime girlfriend. They're so cute together, especially if you see them together in the Disney parks. They're adorable. Question number 2 was Pluto. Pluto is a dog. That is, of course, Mickey's pet. Pluto was obviously created about the same time as the discovery of the planet Pluto, hence the reason for the name. Question number 3, Pete. Well, Pete is a cat. Yes, the same Pete from the Goofy movies and all that sort of stuff. He is a cat. If you have not seen Jim Cummings' TikTok on this, it is hilarious. It's his wife saying that, holy cow, you're telling me that Pete is a cat? And him saying, yeah, Pete's a cat. So it's really kind of cool as well. The ears, hopefully we're able to give that away. Question number 4 is Figaro. Figaro is also a cat. Figaro is the name of Minnie's pet. So if you ever see Minnie with a little cat, that cat's name is Figaro. Question number 5 is Clarabelle. Well, Clarabelle is a cow. Now, depending on what you're watching, time of year, all that sort of stuff, Clarabelle and Goofy are kind of dating. It depends on what you look at, all that sort of stuff. But Clarabelle and Goofy are, I guess, potentially dating, if you will. Last but not least, question number 6, Big Al. Big Al is a bear. Now, he is from the Country Bear Jamboree. He talks about blood on the saddle and blood on the floor. It's a very unique, very weird part of the show. It's kind of cool. Last time we were down in Disney, they finally have those characters roaming about in front of the Country Bear Jamboree. It was cool. I got a picture with Big Al. I like to think him and I are long lost brothers in a way. But yeah, hopefully you did well with that round. All right, let's move on now to round number 3, and this round is called Connecting the Circles. This round will have 5 questions that may or may not be Disney related, but the answers do relate to each other in some way through Disney. The 6th question will be the connection between these 5 answers. I'm going to give you a hint this week. All 5 of these answers are Disney movies. So if you say they're all Disney movies, that will not give you the point. They're all related in a deeper way than just that they're all Disney movies. So let's get started with question number 1. What 1994 movie stars Lethal Weapon actor Danny Glover, Back to the Future star Christopher Lloyd, and a young Joseph Gordon-Levitt? Question number 2. What 2002 movie is based on real life events of a science teacher who finds out he still has the talent he had in college and stars Dennis Quaid? Question number 3. What 2014 John Hamm movie is about someone who goes to India to find new talent in an unexpected place? Question number 4. What Disney Channel original movie is all about cooking and a sport and how someone brings those two together to find their true passion? Question number 5. What was the first ever Disney Channel movie that was ever made? And question number 6 is, what is the connection between those answers? I'm going to give you a little bit of time, try to come up with those answers, and then I will return. All right, let's connect those circles here and give you the answers to these questions. So question number 1, what 1994 movie stars Lethal Weapon actor Danny Glover, Back to the Future star Christopher Lloyd, and a young Joseph Gordon-Levitt? I could have even added a young up-and-coming actor named Matthew McConaughey. He was in this movie as well. The correct answer there is Angels in the Outfield. Why this movie isn't on Disney Plus yet, I still don't know. I'm disappointed. I want to watch it, but for some reason it's still not on Disney Plus. There's a lot of red tape, I imagine, to get through, but it's still a Disney produced movie. Question number 2, what 2002 movie is based on real life events of a science teacher who finds out he still has the talent he had in college and stars Dennis Quaid? That is The Rookie. Finds out that he can still throw a ball 98 miles per hour. Dennis Quaid was the perfect role for this because he's also a lefty, just like Jim Morris, who he played in the movie. So it was a really cool event. And in the movie, Jim Morris, who it's all based off of, plays an umpire at one point. It's something that's kind of cool. Disney has a way of doing that. Next one, what 2014 John Hamm movie is about someone who goes to India to find talent in an unexpected place? That is $1 Million Arm. So it's about how John Hamm, who he's a scout, he's an agent trying to find some new talent for the club that he's with. He goes to India to try to look at cricket players. Now, it's based on real life events. He ended up having 2 of them come over here to the United States, and I think one got as high as AAA baseball, but none of them really panned out in the major leagues. It's a little bit of a different technique. Question number 4, what Disney Channel original movie is about cooking and a sport and how someone brings them together to find their true passion? That is Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off, with special guest appearance by Bobby Flay in that movie. It was kind of a cool movie. It's a little bit cheesy, but I dare you to find a Disney Channel original movie that isn't cheesy. And we're going to talk about this next one. It's the one that started them all. What is the first ever Disney Channel movie that was made? That was Tiger Town. Now, that was not the first quote-unquote Disney Channel original movie. This was the first movie made specifically for the Disney Channel, but that Disney Channel original movie moniker didn't come along for a while. But this was the first movie made for the Disney Channel, and let me tell you this right now, no one is in it that you've ever heard of. I'm just heads up, or at least more than likely. So we had answers such as Angels in the Outfield, The Rookie, $1 Million Arm, Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off, and Tiger Town. The connection there, if you didn't catch it, they are all baseball movies. All these movies were produced by Disney, so these are Disney-produced movies about the sport of baseball. All right, let's move on to round number 4, and traditionally round number 4, we're talking about a movie anniversary. This week we're going to talk about Alice in Wonderland. This week, so long ago, the movie Alice in Wonderland came out. It is one of Disney's most unique movies. Definitely watching it again this past week with my daughter, I look at it and go, this is just, it's so weird. But, you know, it corresponds very well with the book, and we can all talk about why Johnny Depp was a good person to put into the live action making of that movie. So these questions are all going to do with Alice in Wonderland, so let's get started with question number 1. Within 2 years, when was the Disney movie Alice in Wonderland released? Question number 2. What is the goal of Alice's journey in Wonderland? Question number 3. What is the name of the famous song in the Tea Party scene? Question number 4. What book is Alice in Wonderland based on? Question number 5. What is the name of the Queen of Hearts henchman in the movie? And question number 6. Who provides the voice for the Cheshire Cat in the movie? All right, I'm going to give you a few seconds of music before revealing the answers, and then I will come back. All right, let's get those answers to Alice in Wonderland. So question number 1. Within 2 years, when was the Disney movie Alice in Wonderland released? Well, it was officially released on July 26, 1951. So in order to get the point, you had to guess between 1949 and 1953. Extra bonus point for yourself if you said July 26th, but I was just looking for the year for the point. Question number 2, what is the goal of Alice's journey in Wonderland? Well, her goal is to find a way back home, and she faces some very surreal and whimsical challenges in Wonderland. Again, that is one way to put that. Question number 3, what is the name of the famous song from the Tea Party scene? That is Unbirthday Song. It is far and away near the top of my list of some of the most annoying songs that's ever come out of the Disney film industry. I will go to bat for that one. For me personally, I'm not a huge fan of the song. It's kind of annoying, kind of like nails on a chalkboard. It's not my cup of tea. I mean, I understand Tea Party, dad jokes, but for me, not my favorite. Question number 4, what is the book that Alice in Wonderland is based on? It is based on the Lewis Carroll's 1865 novel, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. That's why since some of the live actions, they kind of mess with that name a little bit. It's depending on how true they want to stay to the original book. Question number 5, what is the name of the Queen of Hearts henchman in the movie? The Queen of Hearts henchman is the fearsome card soldier named the Knave of Hearts. All right, so that is her henchman. It's the name alone should give you an idea of just how weird this movie was. Last but not least, number 6, who provides the voice for the Cheshire Cat? That is Sterling Holloway. Now, if you may not recognize that name, that's okay. He definitely provides a lot of voices that you are familiar with. He was the original Winnie the Pooh. He voiced, obviously, Cheshire Cat. He voiced the snake in The Jungle Book. He was one of the characters in Aristocats. If you watched a Disney movie, an animated Disney movie in the 50s, 60s, and early 70s, more than likely he was in there somewhere. Definitely he had some of the same voices in a couple of them, but definitely a very recognizable voice as well. All right, let's get started with our last round of the day, and round 5 is titled Horses of Disney. So we're going to end today's game with some of the best parts of the Disney animated movies, and that is the horses that are involved. So here's how this is going to work. It's going to work similar to our Fast Facts, where I'm going to give you the name of a horse. You just have to tell me what movie they first made their appearance in. So let's get started with question number 1. Maximus. Question number 2, Philippe. Question number 3, Achilles. Question number 4, Bullseye. Question number 5, Major. And question number 6, Cyril Proudbottom. I know this is similar to a Fast Facts round. I'm still going to give you a little bit of music, and then I will return with the answers. right, let's wrap up this game and let's wrap up this round on Disney horses and give you some answers. So question number 1, Maximus. He is from Tangled. He kind of turns from bad horse to good horse, kind of like how Eugene turns from bad to good and all that sort of stuff. It's really kind of a cool story, and he has, I feel, some of the most personality out of all the horses in the Disney universe. Question number 2, Philippe. That is from Beauty and the Beast. Question number 3, Achilles, Hunchback of Notre Dame. That's the horse that the commander rides in on, everything else like that. Question number 4, Bullseye. If you said Toy Story 2, 3, or 4, you get the points in my book. He first technically made his appearance in Toy Story 2, but if you said 2, 3, or 4, I'll give you the points on that one. Next one, Major. It's very short. It's very subtle. I believe it's only said once or twice throughout the entire movie. Cinderella. That is the horse in Cinderella. Last but not least, Cyril Proudbottom. That is from The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. That is the name of the horse. I don't know if it's ever really said. Now, the horse has made some appearances here and there, most notably when you have Mr. Toad, Mr. Toad coming in the Mickey's Christmas Carol, the horses, guy in the carriage and everything else like that. So he does make appearances here and there throughout the Disney universe, but still it's one of those that I think The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad aren't one that a lot of us have seen, or at least not recently as well. Well, hey, that's all that we have for today. I want to thank you for tuning in this week. I will return next Thursday with more questions and more fun. Make sure you're following us on Apple, and make sure you select a follow that you automatically choose to download. If Apple isn't your thing, make sure you subscribe everywhere else. Make sure that you're subscribed here on YouTube as well, so we can know when these videos come out. And hey, make sure if you can, leave a 5-star review, thumbs up, whatever you got to be able to kind of give this some love and attention as well. And hey, if you are struggling to try to plan your next Disney trip, or you want some help planning your next Disney trip or your first Disney trip, do not hesitate to let me know. Would love to help you plan it. You can either contact me on any of my social medias at mouseinthemitten on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, or you can email me at mouseinthemitten@gmail.com. Well, hey, my name's Court. The dog's name is Milo. I want to thank you again for tuning in, and I will return next week. Have a great rest of the day.